Yo, 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 what it do, man? It's your boy, Jit Chronicles, and welcome to another episode of BLKTV. We in the building on this good Sunday night, you know what I'm saying? You know, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. You can follow me over there at Jit Chronicles, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the subs. I believe we at 37 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? You got to start off small sometimes. So I want to say salute to all the subs out there, you know what I'm saying? We trying to get 50 strong. We trying to get 50 strong before season 2 is over with, you know what I'm saying? I got the comments turned on in the chat, so if y'all want to chime in, you know what I'm saying, your comments gonna scroll across the screen or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna need some mods. Where my mods at? I need y'all to get in on chat rooms and regulate around this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Cash App, you know what I'm saying? I got the Cash App strolling at the bottom of the screen. In case you're feeling generous, it's Scorpio season, you know what I'm saying? Your boy birthday coming up on Halloween, you know what I'm saying? So if you're feeling in a blessing and generous mood, you know what I'm saying, hit that Cash App. I know these niggas say I'm always talking about the Cash App, you know what I'm saying, but hit me up. Bookings, for all bookings for BLKTV, man, make sure you go to groundhard904@gmail.com. Also, if you want to book me to be a guest co-host on your podcast, to host your next event, anything like that, anything of that nature, anything that involves BLKTV, man, make sure you book with us. Again, the email address is groundhard904@gmail.com, man. I want to shout out, y'all know me, gotta do my little shout outs. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for supporting this channel, you know what I'm saying? We at over 15,000 views. Y'all already know my goal is to reach 50,000 views by the end of season 2 of BLKTV, you know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for that. Y'all know last week I was talking about the Halo law. We're going to circle back on that at a later date because I did a little investigation and found out a little bit of information on that I want to share with y'all, you know what I'm saying? I do know that law is effect right here in Duval County. I can't say for all the other cities and states and stuff like that, but I do know that we under the Halo law down here, you know what I'm saying? So we'll circle back around to that. But today's episode, this podcast is the political corner. I'm gonna bring in my boy Cobra, Immortal, CI, my birthday twin, my Scorpio brother. He gonna be in the building with another political corner segment. And what I want to talk about tonight is the No Kings protest. My brother actually attended one in St. Louis yesterday. A whole bunch of cities, states participated in it, including Duval County, you know. So before we bring CI out, I want to show y'all what went down at the No Kings protest right here in Duval County yesterday. So I'm going to put it up on the screen real quick. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to check this bad baby out. We're going to check this out real quick and see what they're talking on.
Right now at 6, a sea of people in downtown Jacksonville supporting the No Kings movement. And this sight has been seen in cities across the country today, fighting against what protesters call President Trump's crackdown on First Amendment rights.
We are free. The Bible says that we are free agents. What does that mean to you? That means this earth, this land belongs to every one of us.
Organizers say more than 2,500 pro-democracy rallies were held nationwide today, voicing outrage at a range of President Trump's policies. Some themes taking center: ICE raids, troop deployments, and cuts to health care. We'll take another look at the sight seen outside the Duval County Courthouse, where thousands of people gathered for the second No Kings protest and third mass movement against the administration this year. But taking a look in the sky, News4Jax captured this photo this afternoon. It's hard to read from your screen, but a plane is carrying a banner saying Duval for Trump, a move countering the protests, supporting the White House's agenda. News4Jax reporter Sophia Vitello joins us live from downtown. Sophia, the crowds have mostly cleared now, but you had the chance to speak with demonstrators earlier today.
Hey, Denise. Yeah, I spoke with protesters, and they tell me it's a safe space here where they were among like-minded people, and they could speak from their hearts. So like you mentioned, it's wrapped up just a little bit ago. You can see some JSO officers. They're clearing the barricades away, but man, it was loud out here. It started at 2 o'clock. We had 3,000 people here making lots of noise. So the protest actually began at the Friendship Fountain, and then police officers actually blocked off the Main Street Bridge so that protesters could literally take over the roads, get on that bridge, and walk about a mile here to the Duval County Courthouse and begin that No Kings protest. Here, I can tell you they were chanting things like, no kings, no crowns, we won't stand down, no kings, no tyrants, we won't be silent. Lots of different people here, different ages, different backgrounds. I mean, I spoke to one protester who was 13 and another protester who was in her 60s, but I can tell you they all spoke passionately about what this protest means to them. Take a listen.
We're starting to take away rights. We're lessening our ability to have free speech, intimidation on protests, intimidation on speaking out. Being with people who are like-minded is really kind of healing to see, like, you're not alone, right? You're not just in your living room like, this is not okay. None of the people here think it's okay. And that's kind of like its own community and its own solidarity. And I think that's really good for the soul.
So they were here for about 4 or 5 hours, and the people I spoke with, they tell me they will not stop protesting until their voices are heard and changes are made. Reporting in Jacksonville, Sophia Vitello, Channel 4, the local station.
All right, now that's going to end it like that. Take this down real quick. You know, they like to play commercials and shit. Let me see where we at on here, baby. Where we at with it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was the gist of everything, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I actually want to bring in my good brother, Cobra Immortal, in the motherfucking building. You know what I'm saying? And first, bro, I want to welcome you to the show. You know what I'm saying? How you been? My Scorpio twin. You know, birthday coming up soon. What's going on with you, Cole? Before we get into the things of the things, you know what I'm saying? What's good with you?
Yo, what's poppin'? G, it's your boy Cobra Immortal. Yay! Vroom! Yo, brother Jit, Black Larry King. Thank you for having me today, my brother. Thank you.
Always. I love these political corner segments. So before we get into it, Cole, let me ask you this. What did you think of all that? You know what I'm saying? Because the people was out yesterday, you know, and in Duval County on a good Saturday, man, you know, we out here partying, but it was a lot of folks protesting at the No Kings at the protest, and I wanted to know that you went in St. Louis, so I definitely want to know what your experience. But was it similar to what you just saw, what I just showed you from down here in the Duval, and what was your experience like?
You know, brother Jit, unfortunately, I was unable to attend the No Kings protest because it was raining, but I did see. I was staying on top of it, you know, looking at it on social media, and the St. Louis people turned out. It was peaceful. The No Kings protest is the largest protest in U.S. history, topping to over 7 million people nationwide. And there's places, like you said, in Duval County, Orlando. And what's so impressive about that is a lot of people turned out where the states were predominantly Republican or red states. So that lets you know that the people are sick and tired of the way that the country is ran, along with the government shutdown. And kudos to everybody in Chicago, in Florida, in Texas, in Seattle, in Las Vegas, in Portland, Los Angeles, New York, St. Louis. Salute to everybody that protested to make their voices heard, because in the midst of a government shutdown that has been going on for 19 days, and to me, I don't see this government shutdown ending in any sight in the near future. I think it could last up to years. But the No Kings protest was the largest protest in U.S. history, and I'm so glad that the people are out there, rain, sleet, or snow. They're not being threatened by what MAGA Mike Johnson is saying, because they're saying that, oh, if everybody goes to these No Kings, they must support Hamas. They must be terrorists or they hate America. No, those people don't hate America. Those people are protesting because they don't like what's being done to America. The fact that we're under a fascist dictatorship, autocratic, authoritarian system that Donald Trump has put in play, that is the reason why No Kings was such a success.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, not just here in the United States, but over around the world, it was a big protest, Black Larry King. So salute to everybody that went to No Kings yesterday, protested, and made their voices heard.
Yeah. And I can say, you know, because I can't speak for everywhere, but I can speak down here for Duval County. You know, everybody seemed to come together. And I'm going to keep this 100 for anybody that's listening. I've been saying this about Duval for years. One of the reasons why we can't come together and have shit in this city because nobody wants to come together. So to see that protest and you saw blacks, whites, Mexicans, Hispanics, you understand what I'm saying? And it wasn't no pushback, no blowback, no violence, no foolishness. A good, clean protest. You know what I'm saying? I can actually say that I'm proud of my city, and I feel like this, Cole. And correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it was a bigger response this year than it was last year because I can remember us having one last year. I'm not too familiar with how far the No Kings protest goes back, but I definitely remember last year and yesterday. I mean, you couldn't do nothing but see it. You know what I'm saying? So is it the same from where you at in St. Louis, brother?
You know, brother Jit, the last No Kings that we had this year was back in June. Okay, and that was like right around the time when they started doing the ICE raids and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This year, this month, in October 18th, 2025 rather. Like I said, it was the biggest protest in U.S. history. It was way more bigger than the one they had back in June. And my thing is the more that they entice us, the more that they provoke us, the more that they say that we are anti-American and we hate America, the more people are going to come out. Like you said, it was so peaceful to see everybody join in, brothers in arms, sisters in arms,
Yeah.
you know, for all walks of life, that we came together for that one day to make our voices heard. Because I think we talked about this the last time on a political ticker, Brother Jit, where we were talking about how the arts and independent media is under attack. Well, freedom of speech is under attack. And that is the reason why that the people are out there. And more as this we get more into what's going on in the world, I'll delve in and let other people know, included our listeners, on the stages of authoritarianism and autocracy. And that is the reason why people came out at No Kings. They protested. It was peaceful. The more that you try to silence us, the more that we're going to be out there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, and don't get me wrong, good brother, because I want to circle back to the question. I want to know what's your stance with these ICE deportations. But before we get into that, Cobra, I want to ask you this too. Where do you see this country going to under this administration?
Brother Jit, we are in serious trouble, to where in 1935, the Nazi SS troops organized a special division of military soldiers to basically say, pledge your allegiance to Adolf Hitler. Now, if you notice, on October the 8th of this month, in 2025, in October, Pete Hegseth, the so-called Secretary of War, basically organized the same meeting in present day 2025 to get the military to use deadly force, against the Democratic Party. And there's certain laws and regulations that they're willing to violate to use deadly force on the American people. So to answer your question, we've seen all throughout the country of what ICE is doing to our citizens. To me, I don't care if they come from Venezuela, Bolivia, South America, Central America. Those people are Americans. And the hatred that the right wing, and I hate to say it, that white people portray a negative image about these immigrants, saying that they're going to take your jobs away, saying that they want to replace you, and all this stuff like that. It is a sad thing because in Chicago, they literally had a Black Hawk helicopter at 3 o'clock in the morning. Black people were there in this apartment complex. They apprehended Black people as well in this so-called raid. They mistreated them. They disrespected them. They violated their First Amendment rights. Um, so they're using military style operations like they're over in Iraq or Afghanistan to round these people up. And it's really sad to hear the cries of these little kids that are afraid that the ICE agents are taking their parents away.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, we can go all the way back to 2017. In the first Trump administration, the kids that were misplaced, the parents that were misplaced down in Texas back in 2017, they were put in these cages, put in these facilities, right? We see how they try to put them in Florida at Alligator Alcatraz, right? So these kids and these parents are still being separated 8 years later from the first Trump administration. But to hear the cries of these kids that are losing their mom and dad, which is making our economy go out the roof, because if you're taking away the people that's doing those type of jobs, milking the cows, picking the fruits, all of this stuff like that. I work in retail, so I know that the prices and stuff is going up because of how we're mistreating our fellow citizens. I call it, Brother Jit, it's the American Gestapo. The same thing that they're doing here in the United States was the same thing that they did in Nazi Germany back in 1935 during the Holocaust. They were going around rounding up the Jews, putting them in trucks, putting them in gas chambers, putting them in concentration camps. And we are at a time right now where people like myself and yourself, it is very important that we provide our brothers and sisters with credible information.
Yes.
Because we're at a point now where we can die. We can die behind what we're saying and what we're doing. The enemy knows what we're doing. But I'm afraid that this country, if we don't have an election, there's an election coming in 2026. If we don't have election next year, Brother Jit, not only will this country be destroyed and it's over, but the Democratic Party as we know it will be destroyed as well. If there's no election next year, the Democratic Party is going to be sent to oblivion. And that is the reason why they're shutting the government down. That is the reason why that they have these National Guard troops. They got them in St. Louis. They got them in Chicago to make you not want to participate in No Kings. They want it to where you don't. They want to be able to think for you. They don't want you to resist. They want you to everything to be normalized to go along with what Trump and his evil minions are doing. We are in serious trouble, Brother Jit, to where next year at this time, I'm afraid that I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't believe none of us are going to be around. I think it's going to be people that you know, family members that you have, family members that I know. Can you imagine living in a world where you see your brothers and sisters, your mothers and fathers, your grandmothers, your children being hauled off and carried away, going somewhere that you don't know where they're going? You don't know if they're going to live or die. And that is what worries me, is the fact that we are under an autocratic, authoritarian, fascist dictatorship. The same remnants of 1935 during Adolf Hitler and when the Nazis was around. Basically, like I said, Pete Hegseth wants the military to use deadly force against the American people. They say that we're the enemy, but the enemy is, i.e., black people, the Democrats, because Democrat is the new nigga. That's the new N word,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
So when racist people say, "Oh, you're a Democrat," basically they're calling you a nigga. Or when they say DEI programs, that's the reason why I boycott Target.
Target, yeah.
I haven't bought anything from Target, Brother Jit, since the election. And that's where we
Oh,
have
wow.
power as Black people. Boycotting is our power.
Yeah.
But I feel that, Brother Jit, that we are in a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous position. And if we're not careful, our whole world is going to be destroyed.
That's deep. That's deep. And Cobra, I love how you presenting this. You know what I'm saying? Because this BLKTV, we talk about the real shit over here. We cuss. We gonna put it out there. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I feel within this space, it's a need. Not only for politics, but politics coming from Black folks that look like me and you. You understand what I'm saying? It's relatable. So because I'm gonna let you pop your shit. So I want to circle back to the ICE deportation. And this is where I'm gonna kind of get into it, with the folks, you know what I'm saying? Y'all take it how y'all want to. I said what I said. So I want to ask you this, CI. Do you well, I'm gonna put it on myself. I don't mind them coming over or whatever you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm saying it in a harsh way, it is what it is, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really not a politic type person. You understand what I'm saying? But I know world news, so I don't have an issue with it. As long as you come over and your fucking papers right. Because just like you say, Cobra, I work in retail too. I've been doing retail for the past 10 years at the highest, what you can be. You understand what I'm saying? And we get a lot of Mexicans that come into my store. They don't know no English. Then you got your phone, you putting your phone all in my face. What is this? What is this? And I just feel like this. See, I couldn't go to your country doing that. If I ask you I'm talking to you in my language in your country, I feel like you're gonna look at me like I'm a goddamn fool. So my thing is, I do believe you should have your papers. You should take the proper channels if you want to be over here in this country. Another example, bro, I can't remember who the person was. It was this accident where they say the dude was driving an 18-wheeler and he killed people all because he couldn't read the fucking signs. So you can't have a person that don't know no English, you know what I'm saying? You can't read no signs, but yet you driving an 18-wheeler, you driving our trucks. So I feel a certain type of way about that. Now, again, if you got your papers and you're going through the legal process to get over here legally, leave them fucking people alone. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of that shit, Cobra, I think it's unfair because you can come over here, get your line of credit, get all the food stamps, and you got us that's been, good thing Black people know how to fucking hustle. But I just feel like it's a great area there with me. So that's how I feel about the whole ICE deportation. I know I was all over the place with it, but I want to know what's your thoughts on it.
Sure, Brother Jit, my thoughts on it is they're going to do the same thing to us. They've already deported over 1 million something people, right? Which adds debt to our national deficit of over $50 trillion. When they deport people, it's adding debt to our national deficit, which could cause us to go in total a financial quagmire. But the same thing is like, I feel like that what they're doing to them, they're going to do that to us. They're doing it to us little by little, right? But once the full carnage comes, because if you look at, okay, I go to St. Louis a lot, and the cities, the parts of St. Louis I go to are all Black, and the thing is you can see a lot of the poverty that's there, right. But I believe that what ICE is doing to those people, they're going to do it to us. They want to kill us. They want us to conform to what this so-called regime is doing. The brutality of the people. They're I think it was in California somewhere where the ICE agents, they're people that are pretending and like there's imposters of ICE. Now, to me, everybody wants to know who ICE is. You want to know who ICE is? ICE is the people that Donald Trump pardoned. The January 6 people that went into the Capitol on January 6th, some of those people that he pardoned, I believe, this is just my own assessment,
I feel you.
I believe that they're ICE. So the same people that he pardoned on January 6th is the ICE agent. The brutality that they're doing to these people, look at what they're doing in Chicago, and you see what they're doing, then go back. All you got to do is type in 1935 American Gestapo in Germany. You'll see the same techniques and tactics that they used in 1935 during Hitler to where we're at right now. But because of where we're at right now, Brother Jit, and I'm going to say this, the reason why where we're at is because we have not dealt with white supremacy. White supremacy is the reason why that we are here in this capacity. White supremacy has claimed the lives of millions of people. They've been, we 86 years ago, this year, or actually I think it was 86 years ago, a month or so ago, 86 years ago in World War II, these people, the American soldiers, fought over in Germany to prevent people like Donald Trump and his evil minions from assuming power. They fought to try to quell the threat of fascism, dictatorship, autocracy, authoritarianism. Those are the elements that democracy is threatened by, and vice versa. So 86 years ago, my family members, my grandparents, my great uncles all served in World War II to prevent people like Donald Trump and his evil minions from assuming power. But the only defense that we have over here is the voting. Because somebody had asked me a question. I know this is kind of off script though, but somebody asked me a question. They said, Brother CI, you're passionate about your music, but you're also passionate about being an activist and political. Why would you want to run for a public office knowing that both parties are erected from white supremacy? And I said, good question. Because for one, black people, we don't have our own political party. You know, the reason why we don't have our own political party is because we don't have that trust between ourselves. We have more self-hate more than unity. That's the reason why when you see no kings happen so big, because the system that they try to set up for us to not get ahead, we're the poorest race of people on the planet. Like you said, everybody else comes over here. They get to open up businesses. They get a line of credit. They get tax breaks for the first 15 years that they're here.
Absolutely.
And when you go to these neighborhoods, you see people that look like us that have these convenient stores, whether it's the East African, West Indian people, or the Arabs or whoever, right? So we don't have that. We don't have that commitment to each other to have our own political party. The Black Panthers try to do it, but then now it's like, to answer my brothers and sisters' question, I feel like, yes, I agree. Both parties did erect from white supremacy, but I feel like running as a Democrat would carry so much weight because now you're bringing the battle to them. And if I was to run for something in the future, my message, I would already have policies in place, but my campaign would test the consciousness of racist white people, how racist that you are. And like I said, because of ICE, because of the government shutdown, because of this poverty, people losing their food stamps, healthcare, all that, it's because we have not dealt with white supremacy. And the same thing that ICE is doing to those people, they're going to come for us. That's the reason why I always look out my window, Brother Jit. I'm just waiting. They're already making they're trying to get the military to do that. They're trying to get the U.S. military to use deadly force against the American people. Once they get the so-called illegal immigrants out of there, they're going to do the same thing to us. And the scary part is that There's a lot of imposters. They give themselves away on social media claiming to be ICE, claiming to be these police officers or these federal agents. These federal agents, you don't know who they are. They're going around masked. In California, they passed a law to where they can't be masked up. But they're not going to do that in Florida. They're not going to do that in Texas. Why? Because you got two Republican governors, Governor DeSantis of Florida, Greg Abbott of Texas. They're not going to do that. Since Donald Trump has been in office from 2017 all the way until now, there has been more mass shootings, more hate crimes. You saw, Brother Jit, you heard about that young black kid down at Delta State University that was hung from a tree. That's what they're doing. And you see, the same day that Charlie Kirk got assassinated, what did they do? They had all of the HBCU black colleges on lockdown because they thought we were the ones behind that. They want to blame us for this government shutdown. We've always been the patsy or the scapegoat for when something bad in America happens. Oh, it's the black people. They're the ones who's causing it. Oh, it's the Mexican people. They're the ones who's causing it. And I'm cool with, I have Mexican people that live at the end of my street. I went down there and I introduced myself to them, just like I introduced myself to anybody that's new that moves into my neighborhood. I basically gave them the utmost respect, but an understanding to let them know, hey, I ain't the one that's going to call ICE on you. You ain't got to worry about me. But the Mexican restaurants that I go to, and like I said, I know a lot of Mexican people. I said, wouldn't it be interesting if, because the thing is, on Friday nights, your leader, Donald Trump, is telling you not to like Mexican people, but guess what? On Friday nights, Brother Jit, I see him eating at the Mexican restaurants. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucker,
that's the reason why. That's the reason why.
Real shit, though.
When I go to all of these Mexican restaurants, I talk to my Mexican brothers and sisters. Said, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if you be able to find out what political party they voted for? Because if they voted Republican, if there's an R right there, don't let them in. You know, because it's total hypocrisy, right? But hearkening back to what you asked, Brother Jit, at the very beginning of this segment, we are in some serious trouble to where if there's no election, the people don't have any power. And I believe that this is just my own assessment here. I believe that the military eventually is going to defect, because in 1960, President Kennedy at American University gave a powerful speech. This was 3 years before he was assassinated. President Kennedy basically was talking about on what was happening in today's time, where there's going to be somebody that's going to try to get the military to defect from the government. They tried to do that on January 6th of 2021. I will never forget that day, Brother Jit, as long as I live, because that was a sign that the world was about to end. That was a sign that white supremacists are coming for people like you and I. But I believe that the military is going to break up into two separate factions. One that's going to be on the side of the people, and the other side is going to be with the fascists. See, I'm proud to say that I'm Antifa. You always hear them say, well, it's a hate speech. No king is a hate speech. They hate America, pro Hamas, they're terrorists and all that. Okay, I'm Antifa. I'm Antifa because I'm anti-fascist. I never wanted to live in a fascist autocratic dictatorship. That is something that the American people doesn't want. The American people are tired of rich billionaires, oligarchs that has the influence. Because the reason why I'm saying that is about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even longer, the U.S. Supreme Court passed a law. It's a thing called Citizens for United. That means that oligarchs, your millionaires and your billionaires, even your trillionaires, can influence the outcome of the election. And what happened just this past election? Donald Trump had 9 people that was worth $1 trillion. They basically bought that election. Elon Musk was the head guy of that. They basically bought that election. So when you have millionaires and billionaires influencing the outcomes of the elections, where do we go? We are at a dangerous time in our country, brother Jit, and it's only going to get worse, my brother.
And look, I think, Cobra, that's what we're going to put a hard stop on our political corner. And I want to say this to you too, brother. I'm so appreciative when you come through and you bless the folks like this. So, you know, I'm going to put you on blast right now on BLKTV. You got to come back and do another segment with me before the season over with. You know, 'cause we can go all night, you know what I'm saying? But the minute's running out on the clock. But I love this. I love this conversation. And again, for my folks out there, it's you know, I've never been a politic type person, but when I see people like me, yourself, or people who look like us, you understand what I'm saying? That's spitting that real shit, then we having those conversations. And I think that's what this generation, us, and even the ones that come after us, that's what y'all need. Y'all need to know the truth. And on top of that, this ain't nothing new. This been going on for years. This been going on for decades. This been going on for centuries. You understand what I'm saying? So over here at BLK TV, brother, we appreciate you for the political corner, man. I believe we got 4 more episodes left of season 2, and one of them definitely need to be another political corner edition.
You know what, brother? Before, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother, but before we end this segment, brother, I just want to say thank you for what you do by putting your voice, using your platform, educating the people, informing people, brother Jip, because I'm telling you, man, next year at this time is going to be former President Biden said that we're fighting for the battle for the soul of our nation. And as you were saying, how black folks may or may not engage in politics. In my situation, I had no choice, because the year that I was born, in 1976 on Halloween, the year that I was born, President Carter was the president. President Carter was a Democrat. So basically, I felt like I was born a Democrat. But hence, moving forward real quickly, my mom and dad never voted Republican. And they always instructed in me to get involved in politics, to get involved into your community, do more community activism, community work, donate your time to your community and stuff like that. You know, so they were real big on that. But next year, brother Jip, at this time, this election is going to be the most crucial election of our lifetime. And I encourage every black person out there. I get it. You may not trust the system. And I get it. Democracy hasn't always worked for people that look like you and me, right? But Dr. King did not march for nothing.
Right.
Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Madam C.J. Walker, Rosa Parks, Sophia Walker, all these people that marched, Representative John Lewis, my man that said you can get in good trouble, Andrew Young, Harriet Tubman, all the people that fought for black people. The battle is brought to us now, brother Jit. We're in it. You have a platform. You have a source of information that is greatly needed. It is essential that you continue to keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like what Robert De Niro said. Robert De Niro said that Donald Trump is a Philistine president. A lot of people may say, well, what does he mean by that? Philistine president means that they have no respect for the arts. They have no respect for science. They have no respect for history. They're trying to rewrite and whitewash our history, what we've been through. We're the innovators. We're the creators. We're the freedom fighters. And they're trying to take it away. And that's the reason why I felt like I have to do something, brother Jit. I have to do something. I got to contribute somehow, some way. Granted, we're going against the most dangerous and deadliest enemy in the history of our country. Brother Jit, we're around the same age, brother. We were born around the same era. Would you ever think, and I got a question for you, brother, would you ever think in your lifetime that we would be going through this? Because I know your grandparents and the people that came before you would probably say, man, y'all got it really bad. So, brother Jit, would you ever think, would ever thought, brother, that you would be in this type of position, bro?
No, absolutely not. And then, I come from, a generation. My grandma been told me, we living in our last days, so for me, I just thought I wouldn't be here to see it. You know what I'm saying? So, no, not in the million years. You know what I'm saying? Especially, and I use this word loosely, with this clown as a head of this administration. You understand what I'm saying? So it's sad. It's sad.
And brother Jit, to me, brother, this is the icing on the cake for me. I've researched the Constitution. Every single thing that these people that's involved in Congress, and because everybody's frustrated with Congress, it's almost kind of like if you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican, the main thing that the main two reasons why that, or three reasons why.
Yeah, and Cole, we kind of got to wrap it too. So I want you to try to wrap it in like 60 seconds because, I got a little something for you at the end. I don't want it to cut off on us. You know what I'm saying? So I just want us to make sure we but try to wrap it in 60 seconds, brother, and we good. We good.
Main reason why that the government is shut down. One, to keep the Epstein files from coming out. Two, all the Dems are saying, we don't want the government to shut down. We just want to make sure that people don't lose their health care. And if we continue also to try to stop people from voting. But the reason why that they shut the government down is because 25 million people could lose their health care. That's what the Dems are saying. We'll work with you, but they don't want to work with them because they don't want to give the Dems any kind of credence or credit for keeping the government open. So those are the main three things. Government shut down because of the insurance, healthcare, keep the Epstein files from coming out, and to suppress and subvert people from voting.
There it is. And like I gotta say something, y'all. My brother, this is my motherfucking brother. He's so passionate. You understand what I'm saying? He's a Scorpio like me, goddammit. He'll sting you. So every now and then I gotta stop my brother. Like, hold on now. We ain't gonna get into too much. But I love you, broski. You know what I'm saying? But also during the I wanted to carve out a little time for the folks because you are a amazing activist, brother. And like I said, me and you had phone conversations just as good as you is in that music, my nigga. This is your fucking lane right here, So anything I can do to help facilitate that, I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I love your brutal honesty and your passion. You understand what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. But Cole, in case the folks, you know what I'm saying? They want to talk politics too, but you got music, you got albums, you got credentials. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the part of the interview where I tell you to get your social media plugs out there, where the folks can find you, where they can get your projects and all that good stuff from you. You know what I'm saying? So get your plugs out there, broski.
Yo, Papa G, it's your boy Cobra Immortal. Yay, Vroom. Yo, if you want to know more about CI, you can find me on Instagram at Cobra Immortal. X, formerly known as Twitter at Cobra Immortal, Facebook.com/The Real Cobra Immortal. That is the official music fan page of CI. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you hit that little bell icon, make sure you hit that because that's your notification. I have music on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Google Cobra Immortal. If you want Cobra Immortal for interviews, video appearances, collaborations, etc., you can book me at Cobra Immortal 1 with the number 1 at gmail.com. Also, I just came out with a new album, critically acclaimed, that was released in honor of my father, the late great Ben Manning. You can inbox me for that. Shout out to DJ Sergeant Rock because he got his copy of it. My Grindheart Radio family, my brother, thank you for your support. And yes, sir, brother Jit. Again, my brother, thank you so much for giving Cobra Immortal the time and allowing him to come out on your platform and share his expressions and his opinion. Yay! Vroom!
Absolutely. You got to come back before the season over with. And Cole, I got that new track from you, I'm So G. I do want you to introduce that before we get up out of here, but I got one more for you, bro. I want to know, do you got any last words or shout outs that you want to throw out there to your people or to your supporters? You know what I'm saying? Get your last minute shout outs out there.
First and foremost, thank you, Black Larry King, aka Jet Chronicles, for allowing Cobra to be on your platform, my brother. Much appreciated. Salute to my Grind Hard Radio family, E-Dub, Dope Ass Music, DJ Sergeant Rock, Carter Mafioso, Miss Chief, Miss Kia, Georgia Peach, Raised the Assassin, you know what I'm saying, JR the Hustler, you know what I'm saying. Salute to y'all. I see you guys. Keep doing amazing things. Salute to my St. Louis family, 314 to the 636. Woo. Shout out to my Colorado family, my Florida family, my New York family. Shout out to brother Wayne Parchment of Quantum Stereo Radio for his support. Stephanie Marie at 82.9 PSO Radio. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to the people who turn out to know Kings, because your voice matters. Your activism matters. Your life matters. So I want to say thank you to everybody that participated in that. And like I said, man, Godspeed to everybody. And holla back at your boy, Cobra Immortal. Shout out to my LA family, my Texas family, my Chicago family. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, man, y'all stay strong, stay blessed. And holla back at your boy, CI. Yay! Room.
Indeed. And we're going to get them back, y'all, for another political corner. This is truly my brother. We share the same birthday. We Scorpios. We need to think about doing a birthday live, goddammit. And turn up one time. So I'll call you and we'll talk about it. But Cobra, before we get up out of here, man, go ahead and introduce that track. We'll throw it on for you. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in to the political corner right here on BLKTV with your boy, my brother, CI Cobra Immortal. Bro, introduce that track and take us out.
Yo. Okay, so that new track, I'm So G, is the Iceman Drake diss. That'll be on my next album next year. Cobra Immortal, Black Raven Part 2, The Art of Warfare. That is going to be coming out next year, probably around next June or so. So that's an unleashed track, and it's exclusively that my brother Black Larry King has it, and where nobody else has it. So the Iceman disc, that's one of the newest unreleased records by yours truly, CI Cobra Immortal. Yay! Vroom!
Let's get it. BLKTV, baby.
Disrespect death row, nigga. Yeah. I'm so G. Yeah, nigga, I'll always win, never take a loss. I'm so G. Yeah, dog, I always hustle, I always boss. I'm so G. Yeah, niggas, y'all niggas punks, y'all niggas lame. I'm so G. Yeah, you niggas are hoes, y'all don't know the game. I'm so G. For this cold bites, nigga, us like the Iceman. When I unload the clip, down here's where it stands. OVO, Pinocchio, sassy niggas that even follow throws. Kendrick came at you first, you a hoe. Here come see eyes with the sun nose. You gonna respect me, nigga, like I'm Aretha. Use a little boy, I'm a teacher. Nigga got semen on his face. Put the barrel up in his mouth. Pistol whip him with the mace. Then the house coming out. Old fat ass bitch, nigga. Yeah, you know that I'm talking about. Do drive-by to Toronto. Put up lights in Canada. I don't give a fuck what you say. Boy, you only get standing up. Cobra Immortal gonna die soon when I put this bullet up in your womb. Fuck around with me, nigga. There goes, gonna see you do. I'm so G. Yeah, nigga, I'll always win, never take a loss. I'm so G. Yeah, dog, I always hustle, I always boss. I'm so G. Yeah, niggas, y'all niggas punks, y'all niggas lame. I'm so